Brian Dulesky with Able Distributors. Today I wanted to talk to you about water quality. Don't stop watching the video. I know a lot of guys shy away as soon as we bring up water quality in boilers, but it's kind of important. And today we had a prime example. So today we had a TRX combi. A combi boiler is where you've got a flat plate heat exchanger in there. Boiler water runs through one side, goes like this, and then domestic water runs through the bottom side, and it's a tankless water heater. And we had some issues with it. It was a copper fin tube, not that old of a system, not that big a house. So it's not typically one that you'd think about flushing and cleaning it up and really caring about the water quality because it's kind of a simple job. Typically when we think in flushing a system, we think something that's 100 years old and it's got ginormous pipes and ginormous cast iron radiators and a big old steam boiler and you got to clean it all up. Not the case. This was a fin tube, 1,000 square foot home, and I'm just going to go over some of the numbers. So again, the reason for all the problems was this flat plate heat exchanger. And again, the boiler water goes through the top, the domestic water goes through the bottom, transmits the heat, heats your water. Well, we had issues, and just the numbers on this job, 3 months after the install, it started failing, overheating, having problems with the domestic hot water. 7 trips to this house before we diagnosed exactly what it was. 8 phone calls. 3 different parts before we got to the heat exchanger. 1 upset homeowner. And now, after all that, we have 1 educated contractor. So those are the numbers of what happened. And we know the what happened and we know the why now. And I guess the biggest thing to me would be what could have been done up front to make it so this didn't happen. So one of the things that could have happened up front is before removing the old boiler, we sell commissioning kits. This is an express one, so it sprays in. So you could have left the old boiler in, added, here, let me get in here, added the cleaner, the F3, let the boiler pump run for an hour, 2 hours, a day, overnight, 24 hours, whatever it takes. That would get everything waterborne. So when you drain that system, all the stuff hopefully comes out. Then I would have hooked up even a garden hose. You don't need a flush cart for something like this. Flushed out the system until the water ran clear. Once the new system was all put in the commissioning kit is protectant and it treats the water so you don't have any other issues. So that would have been a step in the right direction. And that commissioning kit runs $60-ish. So again, when you look at these numbers, these are going to be the alternatives. And to me, when you add up this, I didn't put a dollar amount on this, but it's going to be up. It's going to be up there. So here, the commissioning kit is $60-ish. And then another thing that could have been done is before everything comes back to the new boiler, it could go through, it's a strainer, it's got a magnet in here that removes anything ferrous. It gives you a nice place to add chemical. You can drain this off. It comes with isolation valves in the little kit. This IntaKlean is $200-ish. So again, most guys really think that they don't have any extra money into a job and they can't possibly spare the $60. Now, honestly, I think that at least the commissioning kit would have been bare minimum and everybody can squeeze $60 into a job. But honestly, if it's that bad, you don't know what somebody put in that system. Did they put leak sealant in there? Did they put any additives in? Is that the 4th boiler and it's still the same water from 3 boilers ago? You just never know. To me, I would have done both. I would have invested $260-ish and I would have saved myself 3 months of grief, 7 trips, 8 phone calls, 3 different parts, 1 upset homeowner, and that's the key here to me, and I would have been the educated contractor ahead of time. So that's what today's tech tip is all about. Don't assume that just because the job is little or small or basic or it's all copper or even for that matter all PEX, you don't know what was in that system before. You don't know if they mixed glycols in a PEX system. Getting that stuff out and starting fresh, you're protecting the homeowner, you're protecting your own work. And that's what we all got to do. So again, today's tech tip is don't just assume, since it's an easy job, it's a copper job. We know that it had a cast iron boiler. We know dissimilar metals, the type of water that's in there. Was the system leaking? Was it constantly getting fresh water added? All this stuff plays into every single job we do. So I'm not saying that the only time you got to worry about it is when you have a flat plate heat exchanger in a combi situation. I'm saying get that sludge and dirt out of there all the time. When we took this out and turned it over, literally mud came out of it. That's how bad the system was. And honestly, I would have been one of those guys that said, maybe that system is fine. Maybe I can just pull out the old cast iron, put in a high efficiency boiler. Everybody's happy. The homeowner was thrilled the very first month. The very first month he was thrilled. We were in 10 below zero weather. His house was heating better than ever before. His gas bill was reasonable. 3 months in, it started failing, started overheating the boiler. He wasn't getting domestic hot water. And that's when all this happened. So today's tip, do it right the first time. And we've all heard it a million times, but it's the truth. And if today's little experiment means anything, take my word for it. It was a lot easier to do that than that. Brian Dulesky, Able Distributors, thank you.